I'll start it.
Okay.
I'll call the meeting to order at 6:30. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can remain standing for a minute. I just wanted to do a moment of silence for two alumni that were in the car accident this past weekend. Kyle German and Bob Bailey, two of the greatest guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, we have a moment of silence for them. Thanks. Public forum, Brenda Halstead.
I've never done this before, so you have to tell me where I'm supposed to stand or where I'm supposed to
Stand where you are.
Okay. Can I take this off to talk to, or is it not okay?
Just probably get back, probably.
Okay, so I wrote this down because I've never done this before, so I don't want to forget anything that I wanted to say. So my name is Brenda Halstead, and I'm the mother of 5, 2 of which attend Taconic Hills High School. I think probably all of us have seen the unrest across this nation as parents are addressing their school boards on the topic of unmasking our children. Although I'm not here to cause a problem, I am here to bring serious concerns on this issue. And I do realize that our governor has mandated masks for children, but I would like for you to please hear me out, because I believe that if it is in your power to some extent lighten this burden on our children, it would make a big difference. And I do believe that it is in your power to do that to the best of your ability. If I were to suggest that we were to wipe a petri dish full of growing mold, fungus, and bacteria with a cloth and then tie it around our children's mouth and nose, you would call me insane and abusive. And that is exactly what we're doing. Tests run on these masks have shown staph, pneumonia-causing bacteria, bacteria that causes meningitis, respiratory issues, and E. coli, to name only a few. I have in my hand an article from the Journal of American Medicine that shows a study, and I'm going to leave these with you.
Ms. Halstead, I just want to make sure you understand you do it at 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's okay.
And I'll leave this with you. The children in masks are breathing up to 6 times the level of carbon dioxide that is safe in a room. And that is research that has been done by 7 doctors and researchers, and I have that paper right here. In that paper, it says, this leads to turn impairments attribute to hypercapnia. A recent review concluded that there was ample evidence for adverse effects of wearing such masks. We suggest that decision makers weigh the hard evidence produced by these experimental measurements accordingly, which suggests that children should not be forced to wear masks. That is 7 different researchers and doctors. For the record, hypercapnia is when levels of carbon dioxide exceed safe limits in the bloodstream. It's usually associated with people who have pulmonary issues, and it can cause sleepiness, seizures, and comas. Another paper that I'm going to leave with you has 5 different studies, 2 of which show the dangers of masking. And both of those studies were paid for by the CDC and the NIH. Not only are our children at basically 0% fatalities from COVID, masks are not effective because they are aerosol-sized particles, and any scientist knows this. In a study done by the CDC in July of 2020, 85% of those contracting COVID were mask wearers. If you would like to contact me, my email will be on these papers, and I can provide you with 47 more studies on the uselessness of masks, 32 additional studies on the harm of putting children in masks. I'm also going to leave you with the Great Barrington Declaration that was signed by 47 doctors and scientists.
3 minutes, sir.
Okay. These papers will be with you. 47 doctors signed this, saying the dangers of masking our children. Okay, I want to write my email on it now.
And Jason, also?
Close, Jerome.
Oh, wait,
That's all right.
sorry.
Probably my wife
I
writing.
apologize.
I just have one from John Hopkins as I was reading, as we've been researching this, at Dr. Marty Macari. And they asked him, do masks reduce COVID transmission in children? And believe it or not, we could find only a single retrospective study on the question, and its results were inconclusive. Yet 2 weeks ago, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention sternly decreed that 56 million US children and adolescents, vaccinated or not, should cover their faces regardless of the prevalence of the infection in the community. Authorities in many places took the cue to impose mandates in schools and elsewhere on the theory that masks can't do any harm. This isn't true. Some children are fine wearing masks, but others struggle. And those who have myopia can have difficulty in seeing because of the fog in the glasses. This has long been a problem for medical students in the operating room. Masks can cause severe acne and skin problems. The distortion of masks distracts some children from learning. And by increasing airway resistance during exhalation, masks can lead to increased levels of carbon dioxide in the blood, and masks can be vectors for pathogens if they become moist or are used for too long. And in March, Ireland's Department of Health announced that it won't require masks in school because they may exacerbate anxiety or breathing difficulties for students. Some children compensate for such difficulties by breathing through their mouths. Chronic and prolonged mouth breathing can alter even the facial development. What about the risk of COVID, which mask mandates are interested in? The CDC reports that for the week of July 31st, the rate of hospitalization with COVID for children 5 to 17 was 0.5%. The CDC acknowledges that not all of these children were in the hospital for COVID. And viral testing is at admissions routine, even for patients who have no COVID symptoms. Children who do develop COVID symptoms are at a minimal risk of long COVID, according to the Lancet study published August 3rd of this year. Almost all children had symptom resolution by 8 weeks, providing reassurance about long-term outcomes. We've been encouraging Americans to wear masks, and since the beginning of the pandemic, but special attention should be paid to the children who struggle with masks. Public health officials claim to base their decisions and guidance on science, but there's no science behind the mask mandates for children. A new research study by one of us, Dr. Macari of Johns Hopkins, and his colleagues found that of the $42 billion the National Institutes of Health spent on research last year, less than 2% went to COVID clinical research, and not a single grant was dedicated to studying masks on children.
3 minutes, sir. Thank you, Ron. Okay, I need a motion for the acceptance of the agenda. Can I have a motion, please? Bill, second. Heidi? Any questions? Okay. Okay, I need a motion for the acceptance of the consensus agenda. Can I have a motion? Dave, second. Bill? Let's look through that. Let's take the stuff there. Do you have any questions on any of the appointments? Medical teachers, student advisors.
Just one question, Neil. This is the overall staffing level, staying stable. What's an answer here?
Can you repeat that, please?
The overall staffing level Is it stable?
I think we're +1 right now. We're going to be adding a fifth section right now, first grade.
Is there going to be an advisor for the high school newspaper?
Well, that's the journalism class, and what we've done in the past is they do that as part of the class. You bill them for both things.
Oh, I see, okay. I wanted to. Anybody have any other questions about the consensus agenda?
Yeah, we don't have anybody to recommend at this time, so in my report, I'm going to address a little bit of that.
Okay, all in favor? All right, thank you. So superintendent report.
Okay, so I'll jump right into that. So we are down an ENL teacher, a literacy teacher, a Spanish teacher, and then some form of another one of the NCORE teachers focusing on CTE. We've got a pretty good lead on our literacy teacher. We are working through some of the other problems that we're having with certification and with people taking jobs, and then they're board approved, or they fill out all the paperwork, and then we get an email or a call the next day, and they're going to another district or they're moving on. There's a ton of that happening in the Capital District region. There's not enough teachers to go around, and so we may be making some tough decisions, but we haven't played all of our cards yet. I will be asking the board to retroactively appoint some people if I can get them all the paperwork done and everything we need, in the next 3 or 4 days. So that's going to be a challenge. And if we don't get these people, we're going to have to figure something else out. So that's where it stands now. Otherwise, the facility looks great. We've got all of our mitigation strategies in place. All of our orders are coming in. If you want to take a look around, the floors, the walls,
They're shiny.
yeah, it looks really nice. And I could say it's very impressive. There are still a few things that we're looking at, but hopefully everything will be ship shape when the kids come. So that's up today. It's under 1,200. It's under 1,200. So I can't give you an exact number, but it's decreasing about 25 to 30 kids a year. At some point, we do expect that to slow down, and I guess I don't have those charts in front of me. I don't want to guess too much.
With the, I think you said the ENL literacy, Spanish, CTE,
Correct.
it's 4 positions.
That's at this time, yes.
And if we can't fill them, does that mean programs have to be changed?
Yes. Yes, it does. Some electives, some structure of what we've been trying to accomplish in getting some junior high kids, high school credits. We may have to move some things around, and we may have to sacrifice a few things.
Building department reports, we have Mary Flinko. Oh, there's Mary School. Hi, Mary.
Hi. So, as Neil mentioned, it has been a struggle to find some teachers. We continue to interview, probably at least once a day, right? And one of the things I do want to, I appreciate is that Neil agreed to open up a 5th section of first grade. And that was done because our numbers were increasing in that grade. And they're younger, and with COVID, we wanted to make sure that we had enough space to make sure that everybody was safe and ready to learn. So that was our big accomplishment. So thank you, Neil. And we're pretty much ready to go here. No, first.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you. Jim, high school. Hi, Jim.
Hi, thanks. I just wanted to mention a couple steps that we're taking this year to try and help our students, because we understand with so many students coming back, having been on remote, some of them for 18 months, it's going to be very difficult for them to make that transition. Kids struggled academically last year, and we expect similar struggles as they get used to the new way of doing things when they get back in here. So we've changed our credit recovery program, where in the past it was offered by teachers, and it was very restricted as to when, a student's schedule had to match up with the teacher who was providing that. We've switched that over to teaching assistants. So now a student can take it anytime during the day. And the TA will work with the teachers to get the work that's needed to try and build up grades from last year, things that they might have failed, and also build up credit that they might have lost during the actual school year. So they really struggle in the first quarter, they might be able to make up some of that credit in the latter quarters. We've reinstituted our learning center, which we weren't able to do last year, which is housed with 2 core teachers and students who are struggling and need that extra help during their work halls, or they're not able to complete the work during the class, they need a different environment, they're able to go down and get some help in that area. After school, we have a TA who's assigned to the library right now. We're also looking to have an extra TA there every day after school. So it'll be a home base for kids to get that extra help that the teachers might not be staying there. And I really think just the change of opening that library back up and having a library where students can come and read books, check out different types of media, get help and study, instead of the work halls and lunches that we had to house in there last year, is going to be beneficial to at least bring us a little bit closer to what kids expect when they're coming into the school. So we know there's going to be challenges ahead, and I think our teachers and our staff are ready to meet them as soon as we see what awaits when the kids get back. Thanks.
So, Jim, something that you said just made me wonder. I think you said that there's going to be a staff member after school in the library. What kind of transportation issues does that raise for students who are using that service?
So we do have a late bus every day. Rick runs a late bus that picks up kids at 4 o'clock. Teachers and TAs spend one late night per week. So we already have kids staying on Monday through Thursday. The 2 changes on that in the library is that the assistant in the library used to be support staff. Now she's a teaching assistant. And we can ask a lot more in terms of academic help for her to really focus on getting out there and helping the kids rather than dealing just with clerical issues in the library.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teaching assistants who are required already to stay after on their late days, we're going to house at least one of them per day in the library. So it is that home base, and then they'll work on it with them. And then Monday through Thursday, they'll have a bus at 4 o'clock to bring them home.
Thanks, Jim. Next up is Sandra.
No, Sandra's on vacation, we'll give it the night off.
Okay. Civil business office.
So the resignation virus hits even my office. We were slated to approve someone from my office tonight, and that person resigned just this afternoon before being added to the agenda. So it's happened twice to me in the last month. So it's really a struggle to find good people right now. Eileen finished, the full boardroom was taken over for 2 things: tax bill preparation and COVID testing of athletes. So Eileen processed about 9,000 tax bills. They went out in the mail today at 11 o'clock. Did it all by herself. She did a fabulous job. And my office has also been supporting the athletic department and Neil with all the COVID testing. So we go from helping the tax bill to doing some COVID testing as well. So I'm trying to help where we can.
Yep, I saw that in action. Thanks, Sybil. Next up, Stella Ritter.
Hi, everyone. My office is lucky enough to have a new social worker and a new special education teacher coming on board. We'll meet them all tomorrow. We welcome Peter and Melissa. Jim mentioned the social emotional needs of our students. Our social workers sponsored a day here this month, for families who were on remote last year, who had students coming back in person. And they were worried and concerned, so they came in, walked around the building, talked about the safety measures, and we'll start next week.
Nice. Thanks, Stella. Buildings and grounds, Nick.
Hi.
Yeah.
B&G staff has been very busy this summer. They got a lot of stuff done in a very short period of time. And I think the floors and things like that speak for themselves. And we're just excited to welcome everybody back.
They're so shiny. They look awesome.
Shiny.
Shiny is good. We like shiny.
When's that, the new water?
Oh, the expansion tank.
Yeah.
I believe that is, they had a long lead time, so we're gonna get it sometime in October, and then there's gonna be an installation. So we'll have to
Wow.
coordinate all that very carefully.
Thanks. Next up, transportation, Rick.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Rick.
We have held off on sending out the notifications to parents as long as we possibly could because there were so many changes that were going through our registrar's office with address changes and new kids coming in and kids leaving. We wanted to get as much done and out to people as we could. So at 2 minutes to 11 this morning, was our cutoff point. And envelopes are being stuffed. They'll be in the mail tomorrow. And then tonight, you also have the Tech Valley Shared Services Agreement. Just want to mention a little bit about that. When we started with Tech Valley, 8-9 years ago, we did not get any help from Questar as far as transportation to that program. Many other areas did, but we were so far out that I think it was difficult for them to help us out. So we did a collaborative bid between Hudson, Germantown, and Peconic Hills to put this run together. It started out as a bid and it was run by our contractor, but that's since changed and we are now running the transportation for that for Germantown and Hudson. If we were to do that run by ourselves, we'd spend probably $90,000 a year to operate that run for our kids. But by putting 2 other schools with us, we're going to have to pay a share, and according to our formula, of around $11,000. Germantown and Hudson will be paying because of the number of kids and the number of miles that we have to drive to them. They're actually paying the lion's share of the cost of the run. So it's a lot of work on our part, but it's paying off financially. And we have a good driver who does it. Don't want to miss this. Chris Costa here in the audience tonight is the driver. It's a long day for her.
So, if the other school districts need to send up a bus by themselves, this is a significant savings for all of Columbia County taxpayers. And we're trying to look at more cooperative shared services agreements with school districts because we recognize that, the taxpayers are not, they don't, they have to be recognized. How do I say this? We want to be cognizant of the taxpayer money and how we spend it. That's the bottom line.
I just-
Still maintain program.
I just want to ask Rick, you said that Questar, this was years ago, they wouldn't cover the cost for us, but they did other school districts.
We got shafted.
Well, no, that's important. I just need to know that. Being Gladys, her friends.
So which district has the bulk of the kids that go up there? Is it evenly distributed or?
The amounts,
Yeah,
we're sending, I believe, 3 to Tech Valley this year. Hudson is at 5 and Germantown's at 5.
So it's a quasi lottery to accept kids. I mean, in theory, the kids have to make quite a bit of a sacrifice to go there. It does cost us extra money. We pay for that service for those kids. So, and a lot of it has to do by the size of your school, how many slots you're offered. But we don't fill them all, and the other school districts don't either.
Thanks. John Don, technology. Hi, John.
Hi, so the classes are ready. I'm sure the teachers will want to tweak them a little bit. Computers are ready to hand out. We're doing that September 1st and 7th from 4 to 7. Students will just walk in. We will hand them one after they sign the contract, and they will walk out after they log in. we're ready.
John, we may have someone collecting there from the business office for people who owe money for different things that come up, the hinges break.
I've been receiving a lot of emails asking and I've been trying to answer.
Okay, screens, people, power cords, they don't hand back.
Oh, from last year, you mean?
From last year, from 2 years ago, from 3 years ago. I can go on and on.
Okay.
Do we offer insurance? Do they? offer
Yeah, yeah.
insurance?
Yeah, we did. Did we get any takers? One person last year?
2 years ago, we had 5 people sign up. Last year, we had 1.
The kids sign a contract?
Kids and the parents.
Yeah, both of them. $500-600 piece of equipment that we're giving them.
I just
The
remember
taxpayers are paying.
signing a contract for something when I was 12, and I thought it was only about around 12.
Times have changed.
All right, next up is cafeteria. Pam's not here, correct?
She's down getting ready for tomorrow.
Okay. So we have no old business at this time. New business, I'm not gonna read all this, I'm just gonna do the highlights here. So we have A, the second read of policy 4321-4. Can I have a motion, please? Dave, second. Ron, any questions on that? All in favor? B, approval of Stella, Jim, Sandra, Mary, Darby, and Henry as lead evaluators of teachers effective August 31st, 2021. Can I have a motion, please? Jerry, second. Joe? Any questions on that? All in favor? Thank you. So we're going to establish a 2020-2021 tax cert reserve in the amount of $20,292.87 to be funded with monies from 2020, 2021 unappropriated fund balance. Can I have a motion, please? Ron, second. Dave, any questions on that?
I don't know what this is.
So,
Sure. So this reserve fund is established to address taxpayers who have filed claims regarding their assessments
Okay.
against their respective towns. So we encumber money in the event that there's a reduction in the assessment and we have to return some of their taxes to them.
and this is the total of the money that is in question.
It's worst case scenario.
Okay.
yes.
Based on what you know of grievances that people.
Correct. That's been filed.
All right, all in favor? Okay, so we have these, we have some service contracts, we have Columbia Memorial for the school position, top form for the athletic trainer, and advanced therapy for the occupational therapy and physical therapy. Teacher of deaf and vision impaired services. Can I have a motion, please? Dave, second. Terry, any questions?
The teacher of the deaf and visually impaired, is that a new position or is that?
Yeah, I think we had a child come into the district, right? Stella?
We have a hard of hearing child that came in.
Oh, yes, oh, actually, okay, I can hear who that is. Okay.
All in favor? Okay. All right, we've got E, so we have the agreement between Conic Hills and co-work for vocational internship and interventions. Can I have a motion, please? Heidi, second. Terry, any questions on that? All in favor? F, we have the approval of the agreement with Mental Health Association for preventative service. Can I have a motion, please? Joe, second. Ron, any questions? All in favor? Okay. G, approval of shared services the bus routes that we just talked about for Tech Valley. So can I have a motion, please? Heidi, second. Dave, any questions? All in favor? Okay, so now we have some donations, it looks like, $40 and $100 for the County Skills Before and After program from Pauline Louise Struckle and Brenda and Charlie Strand. We've got two more on the other page. We have a, what is that?
The cello.
Cello from Carol Buell for the music department, and Biscuit Feed the Pets. Biscuit and the Little Llamas and Bath Time for Biscuit. Oh, they're bucks. Okay. From Linda and I'm like, what? Linda and Cookie have donated those to the elementary school library. So can I have a motion, please? Heidi, second. Dave, any questions? All in favor? And then we have the approval to change the charges for the two adult meals, the adult breakfast and the adult lunch. Can I have a motion, please? Terry, second. Dave? Yeah, I saw that, but that's quite a big jump for the lunch, but, any questions other than that?
How many people usually on average take advantage of that? How many adults?
I have to look that up.
Most of the adults are buying all a cart.
Which makes sense, I guess.
Well, the theory behind the higher prices is that because we are community eligibility where all children get free breakfast and lunch, we can't use those monies to subsidize the program for adult meals. So Child Nutrition tells us what those prices have to be.
Okay.
So
So also those are
basically,
paid
it
by
has
them.
to pay for itself.
Correct.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. Any more public forum?
No.
All right. Additional items to discuss? I don't think, I mean, other than, did we talk about these yet?
We're gonna be handing out some, I guess, emergency packs tomorrow to staff. I'd like to thank Ashley for ordering and organizing, putting all this together. There's a little welcome back items in there, squishy ball or squishy school ball. There's some Motrin, I think. And,
There is?
oh, yours don't have Motrin. Sorry.
I want you to know, I already have an emergency.
I don't like the connotation of school.
So it's just a little token that, you know, we're gonna have some challenges ahead. Try to make people feel good to be here and move on to the busy day, the next couple of superintendent.
Oh, I do have something else to, so, every year we, for the past 3 or 4 years, we've, the board has, we had money in an account when me and Christine used to do the concession stand for the Booster Club. We earned money for working the concession stand like all the other groups did. So that money is gone now. So, tomorrow is opening day for everyone in the school. So the board usually typically buys them breakfast items. So I did go purchase all that stuff. And if anyone wants to donate to give me money for that, it didn't cost me as much as it normally has in the past. As I had to buy paper products and things like that. Sandra was able to secure money for that. So anyway, it's just a nice way to say welcome back to the staff. So just wanted to let you all know that. Sorry. I did let the women know ahead of time. I just didn't tell you men. Sorry. I'm telling you now, surprise!
Oh, Lonnie. I just want to say thanks.
We're married.
So anyway, I'll square up with all of you later.
Send us the bill.
Yeah, I'll send you the bill. All
That
right.
was the same time we told us before, so.
Okay. Yeah, all right, so that's all I have. I need a motion to go into executive session to talk about contract negotiations and employment history of a particular person. Can I have a motion? Heidi, second. Ron, all in favor. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good luck.
Have a good year, folks.
Have a good day tomorrow.
Well, why have it cut off?
What?
You know, that was me a month ago with the camper. You remember or no? You were coming out your road, we were coming back from camping. You were coming out by your house. And he had no idea.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Yes, I. Doesn't look good.